Ever feel like you're like stuck, like you're capable of so much more, but you just can't seem to break free?
It's the common feeling for sure.
Well, today we are diving deep into David Goggins's Can't Hurt Me
Oh, intense.
to figure out his no-nonsense approach to, well, unlocking your potential.
Yeah, Goggins, he definitely doesn't believe in, coddling or sugarcoating anything.
Right.
He's all about confronting those weaknesses head on.
Yeah.
Really pushing past what we think are our limits to redefine what we're truly capable of.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. He starts with something called the accountability mirror, right?
Right.
What's that all about?
So the accountability mirror, it's about radical honesty, but with yourself.
Okay.
Goggins, he believes that real transformation, it begins by acknowledging our flaws, not trying to ignore them.
Right.
He even suggests, physically standing in front of a mirror, looking yourself dead in the eyes,
Wow.
and speaking those truths out loud.
Intense. So it's like calling yourself out on all those excuses we tell ourselves, right?
Exactly. And it's more than just acknowledging them, right?
Right.
He suggests writing down 3 of your most brutal truths,
Ooh.
the things you'd rather avoid,
Yeah.
and actually pinning them to your mirror
Oh, no.
as a daily reminder.
No escaping it then.
No escaping.
So how does this tie into, I know he has this whole thing, the 40% rule.
Yes.
What is that?
Welcome, future success stories, in your channel S for Success. If you're finding this video helpful, hit that like button. It's a small click for you, but a big boost for us. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips and tricks to level up your life. We're just getting started, and there's so much more coming your way. Exclusive insights, powerful strategies, and real stories that can change your game. Your thoughts mean the world to us, so drop a comment and let's make this journey to success together.
How does this tie into, I know he has this whole thing, the 40% rule.
Yes.
What is that?
So the 40% rule, this is where Goggins argues that when our minds are screaming at us, stop P,
Yeah.
we've actually only tapped into about 40% of our true potential. That we have a whole other 60% is waiting to be unleashed.
Is there any science behind that, or is that legit?
Well, it's not like, you have this hidden reserve of energy. It's more about our psychology.
Okay.
Think about a time you surprised yourself by accomplishing something you didn't think you could do.
Yeah.
Our brains are wired for self-preservation,
Right.
which can sometimes mean, playing it safe,
Sure.
even when we're capable of so much more.
Right.
And Goggins, he experienced this firsthand during, his crazy intense Navy SEAL training.
So it's as much a mental challenge as a physical one.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can take that 40% rule beyond just physical feats.
Okay.
Maybe you hit a wall on a project at work,
Fair.
or you're overwhelmed trying to learn a new skill. That's your cue to dig deeper,
Okay.
because there's a good chance you have way more in you than you even realize.
It's actually a really empowering way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because it makes you think about the stories we tell ourselves when things get tough,
Totally.
Which
Which actually brings us to his challenge to ditch the victim mentality.
Okay.
Goggins, he had every reason, considering his past, to play the victim,
Oh, yeah.
but he chose to own his narrative.
So instead of asking, why me, he's basically asking, why not me?
Exactly.
It's a huge shift.
Yeah, and a powerful one. It's about focusing on what you can control rather than all those external factors that,
Dwelling on stuff you can't change.
Exactly. And he really encourages replacing complaints with action steps.
Oh, interesting.
So instead of saying, ugh, traffic is making me late, it's like, okay, what could I have done differently to avoid this?
Oh, that's good. So it's about taking ownership
Ownership, yeah.
and shifting from a passive mindset to an active mindset.
100%.
Okay, so how does that tie into his idea of callousing the mind? I've heard that's a big part of his philosophy.
It is. And it might sound kind of strange at first.
Okay.
But callousing the mind, it's about intentionally seeking out discomfort
What?
as a way to build mental resilience.
Okay.
So Goggins, he compares it to physical training.
Okay.
Just as lifting weights builds, physical resilience, we can train our minds to be tougher
Right.
by deliberately stepping outside of our comfort zones.
So it's not about becoming some emotionless robot.
No.
It's about becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I like that.
He suggests, take on a challenge, something that really stretches your limits.
Okay.
It could be a workout, it could be facing a fear, anything that pushes you beyond those usual boundaries.
Because on the other side of that discomfort, that's where the growth happens.
100%. Now, imagine you're facing one of those moments, right?
Yeah.
You feel like giving up. This is where he introduces the cookie jar.
The cookie jar.
The cookie jar. And it might sound a little strange at first. So picture this, right? A literal cookie jar.
Okay.
But instead of being filled with cookies,
Yeah.
it's filled with memories of your past victories.
Oh, okay.
Big or small. Anytime you overcame a challenge, achieved a goal,
Right.
pushed yourself further than you thought possible,
I like it.
those memories, they go in the jar.
So it's like a mental storehouse of resilience that we can just tap into when things get hard.
You got it. And we all have those moments, right?
Yeah.
Those times when that inner critic just takes over.
The worst.
But Goggins' cookie jar technique,
Yeah.
it gives you a way to counter those negative thoughts
Okay.
with like concrete evidence of your own strength.
So do we I'm just picturing when things get hard, do I just start randomly trying
Yeah.
to think back to all the good times, or
Yeah.
is there a system?
He suggests actually writing them down.
Oh, okay.
Like 5 personal wins, things that made you feel accomplished,
That's it.
acing an exam, finishing a tough project,
Right.
overcoming some personal obstacle,
Okay.
anything that felt like a win to you.
Okay.
Because the act of writing it down, it makes it more concrete, more accessible for when you really need them.
So we're creating a highlight reel of our own resilience.
There you go. And, remember when we were talking about callousing the mind,
Yeah.
embracing the discomfort?
Yes.
Goggins, he takes that a step further with his challenge to turn pain into power.
Ooh. Now that sounds kind of intense.
It is.
How do you even begin to do that?
Well, he believes that pain, physical and emotional, it's an inevitable part of life, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's all about how we choose to respond to it.
Okay.
That really makes all the difference.
Okay.
Instead of trying to avoid it or numb ourselves to the pain,
Right.
he wants us to lean into it,
Really?
understand it,
Okay.
and then ultimately harness it,
To
fuel our growth.
Okay, so we're reframing our relationship with pain.
Yeah.
Instead of something we fear, it's an opportunity for learning and development.
You got it. He even suggests the next time you experience pain, whether it's a tough workout
Right.
or, some personal setback,
Yeah.
sit with it for a minute.
Don't distract myself.
Don't push it away.
Just be with it.
Explore it, maybe even write down your reflections
Oh, wow. Okay.
and just see what comes up.
So turn inward and try to find the meaning in those difficult moments.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
It takes practice,
For sure.
but it's powerful.
Totally.
Now, shifting gears a bit, Goggins is also a big proponent of competing only against yourself, not others.
Oh, tell me about it.
Because comparison really is the thief of joy.
Especially in today's world.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Social media, it's
Constant.
yeah, it's so easy to fall into that trap.
It is. But, Goggins reminds us that everyone is on their own unique journey.
Right.
So instead of measuring your progress
Right.
against somebody else's, highlight reel,
Yeah.
he wants us to focus on being better than we were yesterday.
So set personal goals.
Yeah.
And just try to
Improve on your own
pack a
past-
performance.
Exactly. And this ties into his idea of defying the odds.
Okay.
Goggins, this guy is known for accomplishing the seemingly impossible.
Right.
But he didn't start out that way.
Right.
He had to defy his own self-doubt and push past what he believed were his limitations.
He really embodies that. Can't hurt me.
Oh yeah, spirit, 100%. And he wants us to tap into that same spirit.
Oh, wow.
He challenges us to choose something that feels truly daunting. Something you've always wanted to do but thought, it's impossible.
Right.
And then take action.
Take action. That's always the hardest part.
Because it is scary, right?
Yeah.
Stepping outside that comfort zone.
It is.
That's why he emphasizes this idea of creating your own success formula.
Oh, interesting.
He truly believes there's no one size fits all.
Right.
It's all about experimenting,
Okay.
finding what works for you,
Okay.
and being willing to adapt along the way.
So it's not about following somebody else's blueprint.
Yep.
It's about taking ownership
Ownership.
of your journey.
Yes. And finally, Goggins, he urges us to never settle for mediocrity. He really believes we are all capable of so much more than we think.
Okay, but how do we actually break free from that feeling of complacency?
That feeling of being stuck.
Yeah.
He suggests taking a hard look at our lives
Okay.
and identifying one area where we've just gotten too comfortable where we've settled.
Yeah.
Could be our careers, our relationships, our personal growth, anything.
Okay.
And then once you've identified that area, set a higher standard
Okay.
and then take action.
So recognizing those self-imposed limitations
Yeah.
and pushing past them.
Because true growth
Yeah.
rarely happens in our comfort zone.
It's true.
It's when we embrace the discomfort, the challenges, the uncertainty,
Right.
that we can actually unlock our true potential.
It's true. Yeah, it's like Goggins is giving us permission
Totally.
to be our own biggest challenger, you know,
Yeah.
and redefine what's possible.
Absolutely. And when you really think about it,
Yeah.
that's the common thread, I think, that runs through all of his challenges.
Right.
It's not about becoming a Navy SEAL
Right.
or some ultra marathon runner,
Right.
unless, of course, that's like your personal definition of success.
It's about applying these principles to like become the best version of ourselves.
Yes.
Whatever that is,
100%. Yeah. Goggins' story, it's like this powerful reminder that
Yeah.
we are capable of so much more than we believe.
It's inspiring.
It is.
So as we're kind of wrapping up this deep dive into Can't Hurt Me,
Yeah.
what's like one key takeaway you hope our listener walks away with?
I think, honestly,
Yeah.
the biggest takeaway is the power of mindset.
Okay.
Goggins, he didn't start out extraordinary.
Right.
He really transformed himself just through sheer force of will
Right.
and a commitment to, just relentless self-improvement.
Yeah.
And that's something, honestly, that we all have the power to do.
Totally.
You don't need a special background. You don't need any unique advantages.
It's really about recognizing that we're not defined by
Yeah.
our circumstances, our past, or
Right.
our perceived limitations.
100%, yeah.
We can push past that.
It's about making that choice
Yeah.
to push past and actually create the life you want.
Love it.
Right.
So for anyone listening out there who's feeling, stuck, unfulfilled, or just curious about how to tap into their full potential, Can't Hurt Me really offers this practical,
Yeah.
it's intense, but
It is.
roadmap for change.
It is, but it's not a passive journey.
No.
It takes honesty. It takes commitment.
Right.
A willingness to step outside that comfort zone.
No pain, no gain, right?
Something like that.
On that note,
Yes.
we'll leave you with this.
Okay.
What's one Goggins challenge that resonated with you?
Yes.
And what's one small step you can take today
Ooh, I like it.
to start applying it all right?
Love it.
Think about it, take action, start pushing those limits.
Yes.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep challenging yourself, and keep diving deep.